And from me, Hrishi K, and everybody at Radio 1, we love you so much that the wait between two films seems too long.
Thank you, Radio 1, and thank you, Hrishi K, and thank you for always being so gracious and wonderful.
You know, as a kid, I remember seeing Mr. Kamal Hassan in Appu Raja, and it was such a wonderful film. And you did Hey Ram with Mr. Kamal Hassan. Did this ever come up? I mean, this is a totally different film. It's a totally different feel. I'm just saying, did this ever come up in the discussion that he played a vertically challenged person?
A big fan of Appu Raja and big fan of Kamal sir. And, I've been traveling and I've missed a call from him in the last 3-4 days. So I'm going to call him back. But we never discussed it. I'm always been in so much awe of him. I've never discussed his work and I don't think I'm good enough to do that. But most certainly, one of the things when I heard Anand Rai Sahab and Himanshu talk about this film, it's like you said, very, very different from Appu Raja. But one of the thought was that, it's such an amazing opportunity as an actor, as a star, that I've got that, people think I'm good enough to do a film like Devdas as a tribute. People think I'm good enough to do a film like Dawn as a tribute. And it's very nice, though the film is very different. It's not every day anywhere in the world that you get opportunities to play roles like Zero. So I'm very thankful to everyone who's involved with it, who thought I could do it. And at the onset, let me tell you that what Kamal sir did physically must have been a billion times more difficult than what we ended up doing. We shifted that responsibility to the visual effects department in Red Chillies with Harry, who took care of a lesser amount of pain. I think there's no shot I've done on the knee, except one. We were in hurry and I told them I'll just sit quickly and do this instead of removing the set and making a hollow there. So even then I remember Harry telling me, sir, wo bhi karne ki zarurat nahi hai, your knees are hurt and all. So it's 100% in my heart there's an inspiration, though the film is not inspired from there at all.
We're very proud of Red Chillies, and the kind of VFX that's happening is world class. But Andy Serkis, the guru of performance capture, was in town during Mowgli, and he said everything is possible with performance capture, but you haven't used performance capture technology here. You've used a totally different kind of technology. Explain that.
There was a time we were going to do that. We do have one character we haven't introduced in the film yet, which is a chimpanzee. It's not it's quite a pivotal role, this came in last minute, and we suddenly realized we may have to do performance capture, and we did kind of research on it. We kind of did a test too, but fortunately what happened is that there was the last performing chimpanzee allowed to do films in America, and we were anyway shifting to America, so we got hold of Elia, ELIA, and got him to do the bits and pieces. But performance capture is an amazing format that should be the next step for Chili's VFX. We've tested it, and hopefully I remember Himanshu and Anand, they have a film in mind to use it, a great fun film again, and which may not require me, because if you're going to capture performances, then you may not require me to do it. So they might use it. Yeah, inshallah, we'll be able to further that. Yeah.
Your leading ladies love you so much. Hark back, I'm a dinosaur in the business. I've been a journalist for years and years, decades perhaps. I remember during Rab Ne Bana Di Jodi, asking Anushka, saying, I know you love him, but what's the most amazing part about Shahrukh Khan? She said, I love the way he smells. And so many decades, years later, she still loves you as much. And here's Katrina, and the three of you together after Jab Tak Hai Jaan. How much have the girls changed? Have they wizened up because of life, this, that, or you still see the same Anushka and the same Katrina?
See, the craft is obviously gone to a different level. When Anushka joined in, she's an amazing artist, and so is Katrina. But the craft, actually you do learn as the years go by, and you control stuff and you let go of others. For Anushka, she was the first thing that I would always believe in her when I met her. I mean, apart from being lovely and sweet and direct, and I always say this story. She said, "You're not my favorite actor," and I keep joking about that to her and troubling her. But one of the things that she was is she's very conscientious, and she's correct without it something that she's put on. She is just correct. And and Katrina has always been someone who's so beautiful that sometimes we overlook the fact that there is an artist in her, and we should utilize that also. We just can't keep on keeping her on for this beauty and glamour and this diva-like. I call her very imposing persona that she has. So I think both of them kind of fulfilled Anushka out of her correctness, wanting to do what she did. The research she's done, the practice she's done, and in the film, I think of Katrina as the moon, something that we all fall in love with and write poetry about, and the epitome of perfection. And you have Baua as the epitome of imperfection and madness and weirdness. And I think the balance is what Anushka plays off here. That you may want to go to the moon and realize the moon also has spots in it. And when you meet moon, the moon may be saying, I wish I was just like you, absolutely normal and imperfect. And the balance that is devised in the film could only come from an artist like Anushka, because there is an understanding that she's got a special ability, and in spite of that, she's empowered and straightforward, honest in her emotions. So I think both of them have really lent and put their best foot forward. Especially Katrina, there will be a side to her which we normally ignore because we kind of just get so impressed by just her beauty.
Well, I went to college down the road from you at Kirorimal a few years later, and I'd look at Anand Rai and I'd say, so beautifully old Delhi. There's so much of Delhi in you too. You guys seem to get along like a house on fire. Anushka though says that you're the only person who can pull his leg, and you've done it beautifully.
So I trouble him a lot because he's like a teddy bear. He's really gentle, he's really sweet, he's really kind, and the best part about him as a director is that you don't know when he's extracted a performance out of you. It doesn't look like he's done anything for you, but the ease with which he takes it. I mean, he's the only director in the country I've worked with who says roll camera, sound, ease, action. So he really loves actors. He loves his script. He loves what he's trying to say through the story, and he completely believes in it. And samosas, he loves samosas. So I always keep teasing him that you're actually a halwai, you're not a director. And for someone like me who's completely not into food, so you have Anand Rai, you have Himanshu Sharma, you have even Katrina and Anushka, who are very specific about food. To be surrounded by foodies, it really is for me it's like sometimes God says, I'm going to put you in a position that you don't want to be in, and now perform your best. So he gave me this position of 4 people who love food, and I'm surrounded by them, and I have to eat different kind of foods just to make them happy and keep myself make sure that they still love me.
I know you love playing characters who are flawed, but this is another level of beauty. A very bright girl who has a condition which is cerebral palsy, and again a very bright guy who is vertically challenged. And I know it must have touched the core of your heart. And he doesn't even think these are flaws.
Yeah, Hrishi, it's like my story. I've never thought myself to be the best looking, the best dancer, the best physically tuned in to be a star, dialogue delivery, nothing. But I just wanted to act, and I just feel a lot of things went right because instead of trying to improve what I thought were my flaws, instead of thinking about my flaws, I just believed I can act. And I didn't even believe if I can act well or not. I could just act. And I think that's what Bawa is. Somewhere down the line, and all the characters. That's the one special point about this film. And the film is funny because of that. That none of the people ask for empathy or sympathy. Because I think if we can overcome the thought that, listen, I am who I am, and this is what is the best I've got. This is the body. This is the heart. This is the soul or mind I have. Now, let me stop thinking, should I, would I, could I, maybe, perhaps, and say the only one thing given by God is that there is a one life. Let me just celebrate that. Forget the fact. I'm not different, I'm not weird, I'm not out of touch, I'm not awkward, I'm unique. So I think when you start thinking like this, even I come across as arrogant to many people. People think my sense of humor or the way I say things, he sounds very arrogant. It's not arrogance. It's just that this is who I am, and I'm honest, I'm clear-hearted. So is Bawa. I will say what comes into my mind and heart, and I will move on because I don't think I have any flaw. And if I have any flaw, it's my uniqueness, and let me live with it.
What a beautiful soundtrack. I look at Isakbazi and I see that all of you are just having fun. So here's Ganesh sir, here's Remo sir, and your friend Salman. And was it even choreographed, or were you just guys having a ball?
No. Remo was very strict here, and but I had fun. I had a lot of fun because one, we were shooting with Salman, of course, and after a long time we're doing a song, and Salman was in a great mood, and we're just coming and hanging, and the nicest part with Salman is that now I can also go late because he'll come later. So I'm not the worst guy on the set. So I would also kab aa raha hai? मैं 4 बजे आ रहा हूँ. So I knew he'll come at 5, so I can come at 4:30. So it was good fun, and Ansar and all of, and we both don't have any issues of working late into the night till 4 or 5 in the morning. So we had a lot of great time. We chatted, we joked, and the nicest part was that Ganesh and Remo both have choreographed me. And obviously when I make mistakes, they pick on me and say, Shahrukh bhai, thoda aisa. And this was the first time, a couple of times in the song, when one of them made a mistake, and I used to just turn around and say, kya yaar, tumko dance वंस आता नहीं है यार, कितना सिखाया तुमको and all. So it was great fun, and it was our first song of the film. So technically also we hadn't really reached that level, and extremely kind of Salman to just walk onto the film. That's the quality of Salman, that he can feel what is special to you. So we've never told anyone. We just started the film. I think he sensed that this film is special to me, and he offered himself, and he walked in, did a great dance. I think people are liking it, the energy, and it really does add energy to the film when the song comes on.
And your other friend, always when Shahrukh invites you to Mannat and Aamir invites you to his house, you both make sure that the media is so well fed. And we were invited for a Thugs interview. Aamir fed us to the brim, came half an hour later and said, Rishi, I'm really sorry, but my friend Shahrukh came last night, late in the night. It was the night after you had visited him. So this is so wonderful, the cards and the camaraderie. So you kept him up at night.
No, I was working late, and we had some thing to talk about. So I didn't want to talk to him on the phone and say yes or no, आ रहा हूँ, क्या कर रहा हूँ. So I said, मैं आमिर late आता हूँ यार. So he said, तू आ जा. So he said, कितने बजे? I said, 10 बजे. And 10 o'clock I realized it'll be 11. So I called him up. I said, मैं 11 हूँ. I said, तू आ जा Shah. And he's quite proper on time and all. So I said, yaar, phir late ho gaya 12. So I reached only at 1 o'clock. So by the time we reached, he was tired, and he was like this thing. So I said, yeah, listen, I'm really sorry, and I'll make up to you. Let's just sit down and chat. And he's got this little new habit of his. So he introduced me to the habit, and then we sat, and before and we have lots to talk. Even now, we just met at the Ambani wedding, and me, Salman, Aamir, somebody had to stop us because we had to get up early. It was like 9 or 10 in the morning, and we didn't realize we were sitting in a room and chatting. So we have, and we don't talk about anything which is work. We never talk about a job. We never talk about who is doing. As a matter of fact, I was flying back. So he said, Shah, tu ja raha hai? Aamir said, oh yaar, तेरी तो picture है release पे. So we don't even know that, while outside people assume that we compete with each other. So there's a lot of love, a lot of respect for both of them from my side, and we always have a good time when we get together.
I loved that interaction between Tishu and you in the trailer. I mean, we saw brief examples of Tishu's talent as an actor in Wasepur, but I believe he's another level in this film, and talk about Tishu the actor.
Yeah, he's got a special role in it. I mean, it's not lengthy that way, and I always tell people that there are no small roles, only small actors. So when you come in a small bit role and you still make such an impact, it's quite amazing. So the few scenes that he has, he makes himself noticed. And I also didn't know. I've spent a lot of time with him as an assistant director, and as a director I know him very well, and as a writer. But he's very funny. What he's done in the film, in that little wee bit, and very quietly, so he keeps sitting quietly, and he's an old friend. So I'm so happy that he's played this role, because the 3-4 times that he has that interaction with me, and maybe a few times without me, he's extremely, how do I say, nastily funny, and it's very sweet how he's done it.
And Zishan, my God, what an actor. It looks as though you guys have that perfect chemistry that actors who normally do many films together have. And, you're just feeding off each other.
Zishan is easily one of my favoritist actors in the country. I love watching him, even in Thugs and in Rais. And in this one, especially so, because, to get the dialect from Meerut, Himanshu had written some stuff, and in most of the scenes with Zishan, I'm able to catch it, because he's very helpful in that. I would keep asking him, and I would say, मेरी लाइन है तो उसी तरह से कह, जैसे मैं मेरी लाइन बोलूँगा और तू अपनी लाइन का मुझे वैसा ही क्यों देना. For an actor to turn around all this for himself to help the other actor. And that's what I love about Zishan, that after a long time I've met an actor who's giving. He's not wanting to take screen space. He's not trying to take the scene away. He's wanting to give to the film. And there were days when we were shooting in Huntsville in America for 40 days. There were days when he wasn't shooting because the technical part of it and the what was inside the space station, he wasn't in those scenes. I was. And we would think we'll finish it in one day, but it would go for 4 days. So he was just waiting. And every time I told him, Zishan, kya kar rahe ho? He said, wahi, kuch nahi. और कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. एंड आई वुड से यार बिकॉज आई एम द प्रोड्यूसर आल्सो जीशान रियली सॉरी यार वो थोड़ा टाइम कोई बात नहीं शाहरुख भाई अपना बहुत मज़ा आ रहा है मेरे को जब मिलेगा ना तब मैं बड़ा अच्छा कर लूँगा. सो द वेट इज मेकिंग मी हंग्री. ही इज़ वेरी स्वीट. ही इज़ अ टीम प्लेयर एंड आई रियली विदाउट साउंडिंग पेट्रोनाइजिंग विश हिम द बेस्ट एज एन एक्टर.
I said this to Anushka and I'm going to say it to you. I'm a big fan of Ajay Atul's music. I mean, they have this whole orchestral feel which is so much like the classics, the Lakshmikant Pyarelal, Kalyanji Anandji feel, and yet they do a song like Husn Parcham. What would be your favorite of the album and why?
I think जब तक जहाँ में सुबह शाम है तब तक मेरे नाम. तो it's not only the theme song, it is the theme of the film. मेरे ही घेरे में मेरी हर पल तू है. All those bits are very Ishad Kamil, and because they were on the film right from the top, so they know where the film is going. So that song is very how do I say it is the theme of the film. And the second part is they are situational. They're musicians more than music directors, and they're fantastic musicians, and that's why, and Anand himself and Ishad Bhai and Himanshu, they do make it very situational. But having said that, this is a commercial Christmas release, and you need to have the tropes that make a commercial film attractive. And I used to sit with them and explain it to them that I'm not taking away your art, but listen, you need to put in a little bit without taking away from the essence of your music. And they were very sweet. I think Husn Parcham is a case in point, that let's do one Tadakta Bhadakta Gana, but the lyrics and all are quite cool with Ishad Kamil. So it's a combination which we required, like you said, the orchestral music part of it in the film as background also. But whenever we wanted them to turn it a gear up or down, notches to make it a little more into popular zone without losing out the essence, I think they've done a great job.
Okay, last few questions before we wrap. Now, these are questions are normally asked to somebody like Salman about fitness. But I find it remarkable that you're so purtila when you're playing Baua and I've seen some pictures on social media of you training with Prashant Sawant. What are your fitness goals? I mean, you don't put on an ounce of weight. I mean, is it just genes or is there some fitness at play? I mean, are you working out late in the night, some form of exercise?
No, I've not worked out for 6-7 months because, Anand sir was very clear I should not have abs for this film. And there are a couple of times I do take off my banyan and dance and all. So you're like, ab mat rakho, sir. And I've not had the time also. But my eating habits are good. More than the exercise, I think it's my eating habit which is good, and now I genuinely feel I've put on weight. So I'm trying to, hopefully day after tomorrow, once the print is delivered, I really want to get into an exercise regimen, get my legs in shape, and kind of otherwise before time I will be like Anand and he'll be like me, because he's quietly going for walks in the morning and losing weight.
So is it cardio or is it weights when you get back into the action?
I only do weights. What I do is I do weights like a cardio. I don't have long hours in the gym. I gym for about 20-25 minutes, but I do more reps, or as many reps normal people or normally lots of people would do in an hour. Because what I do is because I can't do my knees are very badly hurt. I don't have a patella, so I can't run. It becomes very difficult for me. I pull my muscles and all. So what I do is I do the weights very fast without a break, and even I don't even take a 10-second break. So even if I'm holding for 10 seconds, I go into an ab crunch or whatever. So it's a different kind of training, and with light weights, not heavy weights.
The last question is a part A and a part B. 2018, is there one place you traveled to and said wow in this whole year, and how are you bringing in 2019? So part A and part B.
I'll have to think, where all have I traveled this year? Did I travel to somewhere? I think I mean not just the place, because I've been there very often, but just the way I went. I flew down, reached London at 5:30, saw my daughters play from 6:30 to 8:30, and then flew back into India at 9. I think that travel was wow, because I got to see Romeo and Juliet, and my daughter was performing as Juliet in London, near Sussex, in the land of Shakespeare. That was fantastic. And where I would be going, I think we are going to shoot parts of the next film in Russia. I've been to Russia for the recce. Yeah, that was quite wow. I was in Moscow and St. Petersburg. So we'll be shooting there for some longish time, not very long, but for bits and pieces for the next film. So yeah, that's some place I'm looking forward to. And I've never been to St. Moritz there, and I would like to take my kids skiing, the three of them.
You're so present and in the moment when you give an interview. I love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Hrishi K, and God bless you. And thank you, Radio 1, and thank you for your kindness.